Howdy folks, Kirk, Jason, and my brother Lou here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today we're gonna scratch and brown this, or one coat this, and show how we match this dash finish. We're gonna match it a little bit better than what they did. They used a hand hopper. That's funny. While we're doing this, the fellas here doing the deck, they kind of put the cart before the horse, and that's okay. It happens. But what we did was we put it all together and expected an inspection. They said, oh, there's no inspection on this. I said, oh, crap. We went through a lot of other stuff just to get it prepared, because now we have to still put a weep screen here, and their deck goes underneath, kind of like that. But anyway, getting off that story, if you really want to see how a ledger board is done, in the description I'll put a ledger board video we did about 10 years ago, and everything's just as applicable today. That video was so good that I got a call from a magazine. They said, Kirk, would you mind if we used that video and everything you put in it to show how to do a video prior to doing stucco? And I said, no, man, that's cool. I'd be honored. Go ahead and use it. Anyway, Lou, go ahead, give me some mud, and I'm going to talk while I'm doing this, guys, because this to me is easy. I could do this stuff all day long, and I don't even have to think about what I'm doing here. It's so simple. After so many years, it becomes way easy. But what Lou's doing is he's giving me some mud, and that's looking good. That's looking good. Now, it's kind of early. It's kind of cold. But that's okay. We improvise. And this wire is self-furred, meaning the stucco will go in back on top. And we're going to put an inch of it on anyhow. You can just keep feeding me, Lou. Yep. Keep feeding me. When you're done with this, grab me another one. Anyway, I thought since this is so easy for me, I'd finish up on a story that I was talking about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we was doing an interior video, and it was interior plastering with no dust, no sanding, using lime plaster or taping mud. And I was talking about a little story that forced me to join a gym because work has been slow for 2025. We are picking up big time again now. I guess everybody's saying, man, let's just get things done and forget about all this nonsense going on. But what I was talking about 2 weeks ago, and I want to continue on it, was the fact that a buddy of mine came to my house and he was limping. I said, what happened, man? And he says, well, I was unloading some buckets and I was spraying them around somebody's house, decorative rocks. I thought, what's that, like 30 pounds a bucket? He says, yeah. This guy used to be able to do full buckets all day long. And I said, man, you need to join a gym because, like me, use it or lose it. And when I told him that, I thought, because he says, well, why don't you join the gym? And I thought, well, that's a good point. And so I did join a gym. That was 3 weeks ago, called Crunches. And Crunches is in Alameda. They're all over the country. But what I like about this gym is they have all this equipment for even us old dudes. I'm no spring chicken, guys, and my back is kind of beat up. So I joined the gym. I'll put that video in the description also, because this is just a continuation of what I was talking about. So my buddy, who I call No Neck, I call him No Neck because he got no neck. It's just like Mr. Potato Head. Anyway, so he says, well, I pulled my groin. Naturally, I said, dude, you don't have a groin. Anyway, that's another story. I said, so you hurt yourself big time just unloading a couple light buckets. That definitely means use it or lose it. So I took my own advice to him and joined the gym. And man, I'm glad I did, because we haven't been working as much as like in 2024. I was working every day, and use it or lose it. In 2024, I was stronger than shit. I was like the Hulk. But in 2025, was work was slow. How many of you guys slowed down like us with let's see, I'm waiting on Lou to bring some mud. How many of you guys slowed down like us with 2025? All that fear in the air. It was a real drag. But anyway, 2026 now, there's a lot less fear. I guess people are saying, man, I'm tired of all the fear. I got to keep on working, which is a good thing. But anyway, going back to that story, my buddy John, I said, man, that's a real bad sore. That's like I've been telling my kids for years, and I take my own advice that there's a good sore, then there's a bad sore or pain. Now, my buddy, that was a really bad sore or pain, because he says he pulled his groin, and I'm still not sure what he meant by that. But I see he was walking pretty cockeyed, barely walking. I thought, not good. Anyway, when I joined this gym, now I remember working out at a gym like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But Jay and I, Lou, we don't need a gym. This is our gym. This is outside stuff. Same spot, Lou. Just fill me up right at that same spot. So we don't need a gym because this is our gym. But anyhow, when I joined the gym, I thought, I don't recall how much I could lift or how strong I was. I do recall years back being able to bench press the big bar, the Olympic bar, 45s on each side, and that's without working out. I tried to do it this time, almost killed myself. So I thought I better start off with these 10s, and the girls were doing the 10s, and I felt a little subconscious. I thought, man, if you can't do barely the 10s, let alone the 25s, that is, that's telling me something. I gotta take it slow. Well, anyway, I can go ahead and, that looks like it'll do it, Lou.
No, there's still more.
Okay. Okay, ma. But anyway, I'll back this up just a hair. Anyway, I got a funny story. I was talking about use it or lose it. Now, I was in the gym and I was thinking, okay, I'm watching girls do 10 pounds with the Olympic bar, and I thought it was kind of embarrassing and funny. And I thought, well, I wonder if I could do 25. So there was this guy. I thought he was kind of I said old dude. When I say old dude, he was my age. So I said, excuse me, man, do you think I can work in with you? Because the other bench presses were being used. And he had 10s on it. And I thought, I know I could bench press 10s until I get used to it. So he says, yeah, man, you can work out or work in with me. So I did the 10s, and we just did a couple sets. And then this guy takes the 10s off and he puts 25s, and I said, whoa, I don't even know if I could do 25s. And so he says, oh, you can do it. Give it your best shot. And I thought, no, you sound like me. So what I did was I was bench pressing these measly 25s. And all of a sudden, he puts his hand on underneath and he's like, come on, man, one more. And I'm thinking, dude, do we know each other? All we're doing is, I don't want you to spot me. I just asked if I could work in with you. So anyhow, here's that good sore and a bad sore. So he helped me do like 6 to 7 bench presses with the 25s. I'm not used to it. The day I did that interior video, which I was talking about, my arms were so sore I couldn't even hardly lift them. But that's a good sore where when you guys do something, it's a good sore if you're feeling sore like that, you know your muscles are growing. But if you fall off a ladder or fall off your bike, that's a bad sore. That's pain. Like John, he says, I don't know if you were there where he was talking about. Yeah, man, I pulled my groin doing the buckets. Anyhow, so I've been trying to be consistent to get my strength back because, yeah, this will get me, this will get anybody strong. Doing this day after day after day, but I wasn't doing it day after day after day. In 2025, I was hardly doing it at all because there was so much fear in the air. Nobody was doing much of anything. Anyhow, now that the economy seems to have picked back up, why? I guess people are saying, man, we're tired of all the fear. Let's just get back to work. So I'm still going to the gym. Till I get all my strength back. I'm about, well, after 3.5 weeks, I'm getting strong again. How many of you guys have done that? Like I had people, they'll email me and say, Kirk, I tried to do what you do, and I couldn't walk or work for a week. I was so beat up. But that's what happens, guys. When you try to do stucco for the first time, or concrete, or roofing, or anything that you're not used to, you're going to be beat up. Same reason that I joined the gym, so that I can keep my strength, because, again, I'm no spring chicken, and I believe in use it or lose it, and last thing I want to do is lose my strength and get to be where everything hurts. Anyway, I thought I'd finish explaining that because I started on that 2 weeks ago with that interior video. Again, if you're curious about that video, it was interior plastering with lime plaster, no dust, no sanding. I'll put it in the description just for the heck of it. Anyway, getting back on what we're doing here now. These guys, again, they put the cart before the horse and got a little carried away here. I'm going to go ahead and continue putting this base coat on. Then when I go to float it, to kind of give it this finish, we'll continue, and I'll show you how we're going to dash that. All right, guys, let me show you some preliminary stuff that you all should do if you're going to dash something and you're tying in all this crazy stuff. Again, they kind of went out of line, out of whack and everything, but that's okay. They called the right guys. We can improvise anything. Okay, what this is the green sponge float. This a water bucket right here. See all that water? Okay, you got to know how much water, or sometimes, like say right here, a joint. I want to feather this in, so I want to put a lot of water and take the new into their dash. And if I put, say, hey, a rock. If I put too much water, this can drop out right here. So we got to put, and the idea is, I'll show you. Okay, so clean your weep screed, your drip screed, real important, guys. And now this is full of water, so while it's full of water, I'm going to pull up on the new stucco and bring it into the existing dash. And I'll know if I use too much water. I'll see it, and I'll go, oh, crap. Now I'm going to drop out my top groove. So we'll take that and just bring it out. We're bringing out the aggregate, kind of like this, but we're not dashing yet. In fact, I've got videos. We've got areas where we're using a heavy top sand. You don't have to dash it, guys. With a top sand that's way heavier than the Felton or Oley we prefer. This Oley or Felton is fine sand for plastering, for stucco. But sometimes I've got top sand, which is really cheap, and it's real fat. And we could bring it out and match the dash finish just by using a heavier sand. Again, I got a whole bunch of videos on how I show how to do that. Jay and I crossed that bridge many years ago, and all you would type in, like on our channel, guys, throwing myself a bone now, you would type in anything, say like, how to dash using heavy sand, and that video will magically appear and show you how we do it. You guys could do what we do, or use your own methods. So now I'm going to blend this in. It's called feathering. Blend it in a little bit more. I'm getting all the water out of here. I know how much water I want here. I don't want this just pouring down water. And I've got to watch the minefield here. We've got a whole bunch of Simpson strong ties for the deck. So, okay, now I got water in here, and I can look at that. There's not enough water, so I got to add a little bit more water. And as it's dripping from the bottom, because the water gravity will pull it down, I'm taking it upward and feathering it in a little bit better. Do I need to go that good? Not really, but trying to prove a point to you guys watching. Now with this float here, clean. It's clean and it's damp. It's not soaking wet. What generally I'll do is, see how ugly that is? I didn't even darby it or rod it. I don't need to. I got this guy right here. So now I don't want to break the packs. The packs are what's holding it. It's setting that. It's just a matter of time. In a half hour that sets. But if you keep messing with it, you break the pack. So this clean float, just moist with no aggregate or sand in it, I'm going to take it like so. And I'm always pulling up under this ledger board. And right there, I'm not disturbing the packs. Now that will set. Say here, same thing, guys. Same thing with a clean float. You pull it upward. You don't want to go down. If you go down, you're going to break the packs, and it's going to all fall. So even though my swimming pool trowel, I've been using that thing for 40 years, doesn't have a straight edge, I knew I was going to have to use this anyhow. I don't want to put this in right in the way of showing you guys what to do. And this is okay. Give me 5 minutes. Let me show some of this stuff. Now notice I'm taking the float and I'm getting the rest of the water out, because if it's too wet, then it'll pull it down. Here's the thing, guys. Anybody can learn to plaster in, say, a month and a half, basic plastering. But the knowledge of the materials and the water and all that takes kind of a few years. Maybe some people longer than others, but it does take practice. So again, right now what I'm going to do is I'm pulling this up and I'm allowing it to set. It's setting right now. I said don't go down, but I'm using very little pressure to go down. This is just it's going to get covered by a deck anyway, but still, before it gets covered by that deck, we want it pretty. Okay, now I'm looking at the top here, looking at my joint. That's not too bad, seeing that I got to put another, or I can dash it. Dash just means they use the hand hopper. We're going to use a dash brush. You get a bucket like this, put, I'd take, Lou's going to put me a couple scoops of the regular mud that we're using here. I'm put some water in it. Then I'm going to put the dash brush in here and throw it on and match this finish a little heavier because they're close but not on the money. Okay, so now again here, you get your top, and now I'm just pulling it up because at the bottom here we've got 3 to 4 inches. It's big hollow down there, so 3 to 4 inches. I don't want to break the pack. And if you disturb it too much, you break the packs that are setting right now as we are messing around right here. It's setting. The idea is don't break the packs. Arnold used to say that while he was working out. He said he didn't jog because it would break the muscle packs. It's kind of the same thing. Nah, not yet. After I dash everything, Lou will clean up this stuff. All right, so my corner, my joint right here, which is not even going to show, I'm taking the float sideways and cleaning it up. I'm making it sharp. I'm giving it a sharp corner right there. And technically, I'm about 15, 20 minutes from dashing it with the brush. We'll show you how to dash, unless you want me to keep yammering on and talking about a whole bunch of stuff that don't amount to nothing while I wait for this to dry. Anyway, how wet is this, guys? Kirk's the best. See that, guys? That's how I tell how much time I got. Because we have a lot of accelerators in here. We are the kings of using the accelerators. Lou's got 30-something years, 40 years in adding the right amount of accelerators so that this sets when we want it to set. We don't want to watch paint dry. Anyhow, I'm going to finish up little stuff like this and what I can see as far as feathering in. This is feathering or blending it in, whatever you want to call it, guys. All right, guys, dashing's a real drag. Gets you filthy. Wear some glasses, long sleeve shirts, everything, because stucco has got lye in it. I wear white shirts to cover my arms because lye burns like battery acid. You ever had a battery explode on you? I have. It burns the hell out of you. The next day, your clothes are in shreds. Anyway, what we've done here, we're pretty much on the money already. But just for the heck of it, since I said I'd show you dashing, I'll show you guys dashing. Dash brush, 8-inch bristles. Soupy mud. This is just soupy stuff. Lou just put some mud in there, and we put some water, and we mix it up. So what you do is you take a dash brush, wet that damn thing, wet it, otherwise it'll stick. Okay, now that it's wet, you're going to go in your dash bucket. It's just raw stucco. Raw stucco, and at first, if it's really wet, it's going to drip all over the place. That's okay. I'm going to get on this side over here. And do we even need to dash this? It's going to be covered by a deck. No, but that's just the kind of guys we are. We'll dash it just in case they say, hey, how come you didn't dash this? Anyway, flick of the wrist, guys. Flick of the wrist. This gives a heavier finish than, say, a hand hopper. That's what they use. So we'll just use dash their little stuff, and when I'm done, I'll take the water bucket and clean up a little bit of overspray. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you guys are. You're going to get this stuff everywhere. What we don't want to do is make a huge mess that takes us even longer to clean up. So I'm kind of using this dash brush. And don't worry if you guys think, hey, it's kind of difficult. Do about 5 or 10 houses. At the end of the day, your arm will feel like spaghetti. You'll get the hang of it. You just throw it on, flick it on, flick of the wrist, guys. Like a dash of salt in the old days. Anyway, that's that's how we do it. And because I got a lot of water on here, I'll hit the top piece here. All we're doing, guys, is feathered it in just a little bit tighter than what they've done. And they didn't do a bad job. They didn't do a bad job at all. It's just, it could be tighter. And you should cover everything. I'll show you why in a second. You see how that goes on, guys? Let me get this bucket out your way. So somebody said, man, how are we going to see if you got a bucket right there? All right, so see this? It's wet. And you just flick it, guys. Flick it a wrist. Dash of salt like in the 1900s, they used to say. Why I put this board here is because the last guys who dashed the pipe, which is, they could have just cleaned it, but I don't want them to say, Kirk, look what you did. Like, we covered it. We covered everything. We're on the ball. Anyway, you see how that's done. You see this, guys? If it's full of water and it's just dripping down, shake it once or twice. Get some of that excess water out. It'll pop because of gravity, pop right off. Now we're going to hit this a little bit more. What I don't want to do is say, okay, now we match that finish, but now we're far from this finish. So we got to figure out an in-between. So I think it's wiser to match the same wall and not go super heavy and say, well, we match that. Well, it won't match this. Common sense, guys. Anyway, that's where we're at with that. And guys, you see caulkings we use. This Sikaflex 1A it's a polyurethane caulking. It's nasty stuff. Don't get it on you. But that's what we use to fuse everything together to waterproof. The fellow said, what about these cracks? Moreflex, because it has sand in it. It's an acrylic latex, really easy to clean up. And you don't need a lot of skill for this stuff. And this Moreflex isn't the only caulking out there with sand in it. There's a whole bunch of caulkings, if you can't find this, that have sand in it. You're paying for sand, guys. You take a glove, just go over it. And all you're doing is getting the caulking in the crack. You don't need any special tools, just a glove. And boom, there you go, guys. So Moreflex or rapid set caulking with sand to match stucco. And it's got an acrylic latex, so it flexes when the house flexes. If I fill these cracks with stucco, what happens? The stucco, as soon as vibration, they close or slam this door, it cracks right back out. Anyway, guys, my name is Kirk. Jason's on the camera, Lou's out in the front cleaning up. We thank you guys for watching, and as usual, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, folks, as always, we thank you all for watching. We really enjoy your questions and comments. If there's anything you want to learn about, please let us know in the comments. And as always, from the entire Giordano family,
we'll see you on the next one.
Nailed it.